All right, so we're getting into March. The lakes are going to start opening up. I'm going to start targeting lakers and bull trout out of the boat. And with that, one of the methods I use is a herring rig. Now the herring rig I use incorporates a Spinglo in front of the herring, and I use an octopus hook on the front. Sorry about that. And that's a number 6, a big Gamakatsu number 6 circle hook that I hook through the nose of the herring. I'll show you in use on the lake very soon. And then I use a big, this is a mustad. You can use whatever treble hook you like, but that's a size 1, or I use a 1/0, so pretty large. This is the size 1, so just a little smaller. Now, what I do first, if you've seen my polymer knot video, I'm going to do a quick polymer knot. I'm not going to go through this on how to tie it, but if you need instruction on a polymer knot, just go to my polymer knot video and I show that real quick. This is 20-pound fluorocarbon. I use 20 to 30-pound fluoro for these fish. I get into some fairly large fish and I don't want to break off. Now, I run a flasher in front of these herrings, either a Dodger, a triangle, or 360 flasher. And so typically what I do is I'll use, like for this, I'm using 20-pound fluorocarbon, and then I'm going to use a heavier line on my rods so that if something, and then I clip that directly to the Dodger flasher. So if something breaks, I lose just the hook, not the flasher and Dodger. Or if you snag on the bottom is actually the most common issue. Okay, so polymer knot, boom, I got a treble hook on. Then I'm going to take my line, I'm going to thread through, and this could be whatever hook you decide. The same method applies to a lot of things. Get that hook out of there. So I use Blue Label herring. I like to hook this, like I said, kind of right through the eyes of the herring. And then I hook this treble hook in the side back towards the back. So I do about a 3 to 3.5 inch separation from the back, about a 3 inch, the back of the octopus hook to the front of that treble. And I know that just works. If you have questions, buy the herring that you want and actually hook it onto this treble hook or onto the octopus hook and the treble hook and figure out your length. I know my length, so I can just go ahead and tie this. So I get the length that I want. I then hold it. I do a quick snell, as I've showed. I have a video on how to tie a snell knot and how to tie a double snell knot. So if you're not comfortable with that knot, watch those videos. And once, I don't know if I can do it without hooking my treble, goodness. Once I get that tied, then we rig the rest of it with the Spinglo. So I've got that set up just how I want it. My separation, I know that I can hook a nose of a herring there and have this towards the tail. I hook it in a way I'll show when I'm actually fishing that applies a little tension. It bends that herring and it fishes really well. Then the next step that I do, I could just run a naked herring, but I like to give it just a little bit more flash. So I run a Spinglo, either a number 4, number 6 Spinglo. That's the sizes I like. I just tie a bunch of both, and if I'm using a little bit smaller herring, I may use a smaller Spinglo. I might just try different things. Whites, pinks, blues, and glows are my favorite. So today I think I'm going to tie this one. I've actually never ran this one. This is one of my favorites. It's a nice Yakima Spinglo. Well, they all are. This one has some glow wings, and those green dots on there are glow. So I think that's going to be quite effective. But you don't want to run this right down to the hook and have it riding on your knot or on the front of the hook. It's not going to spin as well. So you incorporate some beads into it. I like to add, you know, a little bit of extra color. I buy these big packs of beads. And I think just for contrast, I'm going to put a blue bead just on the line. And then I'm going to do a glow bead to add a little extra something there. And I'm going to take my Spinglo and thread it on. And then you can put on any other combination of beads you want. I'm just going to throw another glow bead on there. You don't necessarily have to run one in front, but what the heck. So we'll do it, and then voila, I'm all set up. So I got that blue bead, 2 glow beads, a glow lure. You can see, nice easy spin. And this does really well on Lakers and bull trout. So there you go. On this end, you can either tie a loop knot or a swivel. I prefer the swivel, it's just a little cleaner. And that's all there is to it, ready to go. These, I typically run the leader length. As you can see, it's quite long. I run it much longer than my kokanee rigs. These I'm running 30 inches to 3 feet, and I tie different lengths just to be able to have variety when I'm out on the water. So thank you for watching. I hope it helps. It's a fun thing to do when you're not out on the water, and a very effective method for catching those big Lakers and bulls.